Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Welcome to drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent Black people. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I hope that you all are doing well. I am doing well myself, and I'm not going to be here long. I just want to come in and talk to you guys real quick about some things that I noticed in terms of where our Black wealth is going. As you guys know, I'm a finance professor, and I like to talk about Black wealth and Black economics in the best way possible. And I saw some pretty disturbing trends that I wanted to address to you guys. So just so you can say, you can't say nobody told you. You can't say nobody ever warned you, because I'm the guy who's literally sounding the alarm right now. I want to ask you all, as you come into the chat, about sports books and companies like DraftKings and all these other companies that are running these ads, particularly to Black men. Has anybody noticed all of these sports books ads that are being run toward Black men? Give me a guess in the chat if you've seen this. Let me know. Sean, Jermaine Trusty, how you doing out of Camden, New Jersey? I see you, Jermaine. Jermaine's a great guy. So tell me if you've noticed this. Give me a quick yes in the chat if you've seen how often they're promoting these sports book platforms, mostly to Black men. In fact, I'm going to pull up an ad that I put on my Instagram. My Instagram is Dr. Boyce Finance, and we talk about Black economics every single day. And if you go to Dr. Boyce Finance on Instagram, I'd love it if you guys join the conversation so I don't have to talk to so many idiots. You will find something really interesting that's happening here. You will find that they have officially basically made sports books into the new crack. It's, they got you out here looking like Pookie right now on New Jack City. Let me just show you. Here's one. I grabbed a little collage of different ads, and you've seen Jamie Foxx over here, Shaquille O'Neal over here, Paul Pierce over here, and then that one at the bottom. I can't. Oh, Kevin Hart. Of course, how would I not recognize Kevin Hart? He's the least funny and the shortest of the group. But anyway, so one of the things that's been going on is that there is a continuous, deliberate strategy to basically take more money from Black people and also to destabilize Black families by mass promoting these sports books and things like that to the community. Now, why is this dangerous? Why is this dangerous? It's very dangerous because if you knew what I knew about what that activity can do to a family, you would understand where I'm coming from. I remember when I was young and I just got my first job at Syracuse, and I was doing good. I was making over $100,000 a year. This is about 20 something years ago, and I was buying a new car, and I talked to this old guy who was about 75, 80 years old, and he was selling cars. And I remember we drove around in the car, and I said, why are you still driving? Why are you still selling cars? And why didn't you retire? He said, well, I had $500,000 to retire, but I gave it all to the casino. He literally gave it all to the casino. So you would think, why would somebody do something like that? Why would you give all your money away? Why would you give all your wealth away? Why are you working as a tired 80-year-old man? And what happens is that when it comes to this type of activity, there is an addiction there. It taps into your reward system, your reward feedback system inside your brain, mainly connected to dopamine. And when I say dopamine is that dope, I'm telling you, I just want to warn anybody that's listening, that is probably about the worst addiction that a person can have. There's other types of addictions. There's, drugs and alcohol, sex addictions. That's a real thing. But I think this is the worst because what happens is that it can suck you into a financial quicksand. Let's say that you're down. If you're down, 3,000, well, you want to get caught back up. So you start making bigger and bigger bets. So maybe you bet 5,000 or 4,000 so you can get up there, and then you lose again. Now you're down 7,000. Now you got to bet 8, 9, 10,000 to try to get back in. And what happens is you go deeper and deeper into the financial quicksand. So what ends up happening, the reason you have so many people, you have a lot of men that unalive themselves. They literally take their own lives, because they get into these debts, that come from their addiction, and it becomes like this source of shame. Where if you're a father and a husband, now the family can't pay the bills, the family's going bankrupt because of you. If you have a bookie, the bookie may be coming to try to kill you, harm your family, whatever. If and then you're looking at it, you're sitting there thinking, oh my God, I'm only making 60,000 a year. How am I going to pay this bookie $250,000? And so the reason I am taking the time to do this, and I'm very, very sorry, I know I might offend some people, because they're going to look to men with big platforms. They're going to go after the Club Shay Shays because that's a big Black male platform. They're going to go after. I heard Joe Budden was doing this. That's a big Black male platform. I give a shout out to the guys at Earn Your Leisure. And I just want to support them on this because I think that they had the courage to speak up on this because they understand money, finance, and economics. And I have a lot of respect for those guys. And they actually mentioned this. They said, "Why are you selling drugs to the community? Why are you showing up as the damn dope man? We already went through the dope era. We already went through an era where they were killing us and taking all of our wealth and destroying us. And why are certain people taking money from these people to give us something that is clearly harmful? It can't just be all about the money." And I know this is going to cause some problems. This is going to make some people mad. This is going to probably create a little bit of a civil war, but it's something, but maybe the civil war can be handled in a civil fashion. I have no idea, but I know at the end of the day, this is very bad. And when I tell you this is bad, it is bad, bad, bad. So anyway, let me go back. Let's hop back in. Do me a favor. Please hit the thumbs up button, thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I do have a new book called The 10 Commandments of Black Economic Power. If you'd like to get a copy, just go to drboycebooks.com. And also every single day we do a free Black wealth class, an investing class every single morning. If you'd like to join us, and also have a training called How to Make Money Without Working, just pull out your phone, text the word money to 87948. Text money to 87948. Now, let's see. Charlie Sports says, "Why are you selling stock?" Same shit. That's not the same, brother. That's not the same. Gambling and investing are not the same thing. And if you think they are the same thing, that means you're investing very badly. Investing is when you take a calculated risk that builds long-term wealth. I can show you a thousand charts. Remember, don't mess with me on this, bro. I got a PhD in this stuff, so I know what I'm talking about. I can show you 120 years of data that proves that if you put your money consistently in a diversified portfolio over a long period of time, your wealth will grow. There is 100% guarantee that you will not lose your money if you invest properly. If you diversify, you buy and you hold, your wealth will go up. You do not get that same guarantee when you go to the casino. You don't get the same guarantee when you go to DraftKings. You don't get the same guarantee when you bet on the Chicago Bears. You definitely don't get that guarantee when you bet on the Cowboys, because the Cowboys don't beat nobody. Anyway, speaking of that, I'm a sports fan. I love sports. You know, the only jersey I have actually is Deion Sanders. I bought it. It's a signed jersey because I used to want to be a Dallas Cowboy when I was a kid. And so I understand sports. I appreciate sports. And I've even placed a bet or two just for fun. But I can just tell you that as a person who's seen more things than you probably realize that I've actually seen, and have more experiences than I've care to state, and also who's married to a therapist who sees clients who are dealing with this issue, you don't want to mess with this man. You just don't. It is bad, bad news. In fact, let me give you some history on this. Hit the thumbs up button while I pull this up real quick. I'm going to give you, this is not the first time that they have manipulated the Black community to sell various forms of addiction. Typically, they love to target the Black community for anything that is harmful because there's no regulation. Unfortunately, the consumer base may be a little desperate or maybe uninformed. So they love to exploit the Black community. One time where they did the exact same thing that the DraftKings and companies like that are doing right now is with cigarettes. Give me a yes if you know somebody who smokes Black and Milds. Give me a yes. Anybody know somebody who smokes Black and Milds, or maybe they smoke menthol cigarettes, or maybe they used to smoke Cools, or whatever? Anybody know a Black person in that category? Give me a yes in the chat. And let me tell you how that happened. That was a psyop. That was basically a corporate psyop. That was a corporate brainwashing. They studied you. They studied you like rats in a lab. They went to the Black community. They followed you around. They looked at what you see when you're riding the bus. They talked to therapists. The NPR did a deep expose on this. Y'all got to go check it out. It's crazy. My wife was flipping out over it because, my wife's a therapist. She trains licensed therapists on how to be a licensed therapist. So she's into this stuff. And she said, it's crazy how much of a mind screw they did on the Black community by basically going in and literally studying you like little rats in the lab. And they went to the Black therapists and they said, well, how do Black men define masculinity? Well, if he's holding a cigarette, he throws it to the side, and he gonna really think he's a man. You're right. And so they were selling these menthol cigarettes that were just killing everybody. And in fact, there was somebody very famous who died from menthol cigarettes. I believe it might have been Nat King Cole, and he died from lung cancer. And they put him in Ebony magazine or something, and they told Ebony, do not mention how he died. You cannot mention how he died. And they ran all these cigarette ads in the same magazine where they were talking about him being dead from the cigarettes, right? So you can look all this up. And I'm gonna give you some little tricks that they use. Number one, they heavily advertise menthol cigarettes in predominantly black neighborhoods through billboards, posters, and local media, just like they're doing now with all the sports books. They're using people. They're using your celebrities. They know that you worship celebrities. So another thing they did was they use role models and influencers. So marketing campaigns often feature prominent black figures or relatable personas to make the product seem aspirational and culturally relevant. So when I run an ad, or when these companies run an ad, and you got Kevin Hart on here and you got your favorite athletes on here, they're basically kind of going to the same playbook. They're going to the same playbook because they know that you're going to fall for the okey doke over and over again. Some of us are gonna see it. Some of us are gonna say, "Hold up, wait a minute, no, this ain't cool." Some of us are just gonna go along because there's some of us who like to follow the crowd. Studies show that 70% of all people will follow the crowd even when the crowd is wrong. That blew my mind when I saw that statistic. I said, "Wait, you mean really like that many people will follow the crowd just because that's what the crowd is doing?" So you see here, look at this. You've got here Jamie Foxx, here you got Shaquille O'Neal, here you got Paul Pierce, here you got Kevin Hart. They typically go to the athletes and the comedians and the rappers to influence black males. I'm surprised there's not a rapper in here. I'm sure that there's an ad somewhere with a rapper in it. But typically, what they do is they see black men as three things, one of three things: either you're telling jokes to make white people comfortable, you're playing sports to entertain white folks, or you're rapping and degrading yourself, degrading your women, embarrassing your community, all for their entertainment. And this is the playbook they're going to. So let me tell you how else they. This was all unearthed in a lot of lawsuits in terms of how they promoted cigarettes to your grandmother and your grandfather and eventually killed them. My grandmother died of lung cancer, actually. Let's see here. They sponsor black cultural events. Companies sponsored concerts, festivals, and events popular in the black community, linking menthol cigarettes to black culture and pride. So they wanted you to think that if you were black and proud, you were going to smoke a black and mild. That's what they said. They said if you're black and proud, you're going to smoke a black and mild. That there's something about that tells you about that cigarette that tells you that you are black. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me if you've ever seen this. Tell me if am I the only crazy one? I don't am I out of my mind? Or what do y'all think? Have y'all seen the same thing I've seen? Now again, I already know some people aren't gonna like it, and I get it. I understand. Maybe you're younger than me. I'm not 23 years old. I'm 53. So I'm not a kid, right? Sometimes older people know things, right? And I'm just spitting the game for the people that want to hear it. Those who don't want to hear it, I encourage you to live your life. Do what you want to do. Ignore me. There's nothing cool about me. I'm not trying to be cool. I'm not trying to fit in. I'm trying to be correct. I'm trying to fit in with the truth. And unfortunately, if you spend all your time as a young man trying to be cool, you're going to end up following a bunch of dumbasses who are going to ruin your life. You're going to be connected to people that don't care about you, people that are not going to help you fix your terrible situation. When so you follow the crowd. Guys I knew that follow the crowd. They got 5-6 babies, mamas. They crying because they can't pay child support. The white man got their foot on their neck. They ain't got no job. They ain't making no money. They're mad. Their life is full of regrets. They got every STD in the book, and they die young. And so ultimately, in my opinion, I think the worst thing for a black person to try to be is cool. Like cool to me, cool is being yourself. That's the coolest you can be. To me, that cool, being yourself should be the new swag. So if being yourself was swag, then I got swag on 12 because I'm okay with being Boyce. I don't need to fit in with nothing that don't make no damn sense. And I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these media outlets, a lot of these corporations, a lot of these people making money love feeding you garbage culture. That's why they had that damn election where they had people up there twerking, like somehow Megan Thee Stallion twerking was gonna make me vote for a politician. I don't need somebody twerking for me to tell me who to vote for. I need to know about your policies. So anyway, let me move on. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. Thumbs up, share, subscribe. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. You're watching drboycetv.com, the home for intelligent black people. And I want to let everybody know I do have a podcast on Spotify. It's called the Dr. Boyce Breakdown. And I have another one called Dr. Boyce Daily Stock Market, and it's basically where every day I talk about things happening in the stock market, places where you can invest some money, opportunities to make money. In fact, today during class, I was breaking down and explaining that I think that those college savings plans are an inefficient way to try to build wealth, because what happens is they have you spending 20 years investing in this account for your kid to go to college, and then you have to give all the money to the university, which is overcharging you for that degree. I would say that it would probably be more efficient to invest, say, $300 to $600 a month into the S&P 500 for your child. Don't act like that's too much money because some of y'all got car notes that are $600 a month. I'm assuming that you love your child more than you love your car. If you don't love your child as much as you love your car, then this is the wrong conversation for you. You should probably go do something else because this is not the place for you. But assuming you love your child as much as you love your car, take the amount of money that you would put in your car note, put that also in an account for your child. And then by the time they are between 20 and 25 years old, they'll have $200 to $300,000. And I'm gonna say this, I love college. College was fun. I love my education. I have nothing against education. But if I had a choice at 23 years old between having a college degree or having $300,000 in the bank, which would you pick? Which would you rather have? Answer in the chat. Would you rather have 300,000 in the bank at the age of 23 or a college degree that gives you a piece of paper that qualifies you to go get a job, probably making 50, 60,000 a year? Which would you rather have? The college degree or the 300 grand? I would rather have the 300 grand because if you know what to do with the 300 grand, you can make more money than most college graduates and you're set for life. You can and then you can still go get education, right? You can still get online and learn like everybody else. Learning is something you do. Learning does not happen because you're on a campus and you're inside a building. There ain't nothing magical about that damn white man's building that means you're going to learn anything. You learn because you choose to open a damn book. You choose to get on your phone and take in knowledge and information. That's how you learn. You don't learn just because you gave somebody a bunch of money and went into their facility. So think about it. Process it like this, right? If I'm investing consistently for my child in the stock market from the time they're little and they have 300 grand by the time they're 22, 23 years old, they can get the money and then also get the knowledge. But process this. Most people who get the knowledge never get the money. Most college graduates, tell me if I'm wrong on this. Most college graduates never have 300 grand in their bank account. Am I right or am I right? Do you agree with that statement? Most college graduates never. They work 40, 50 years and they'll never have 300 grand in their bank account. But imagine this. Imagine if you just do basic things. You literally could do this. Remember, I'm an expert on the stock market, right? You can literally put the money randomly in S&P 500 stocks. You can take $600 and say, I'm gonna buy some Tesla. Here's $600. I'm gonna buy some Microsoft. $600. I'm gonna buy some Apple. $600. I'm gonna buy some Google, right? And literally do that every month like a game, and your child will have $200,000 to $300,000. So by the time they're between 20 and 25 years old. So if I'm thinking about it, right, and I'm really trying to set my kid up for life, then I'm going to give them a something that's more valuable than a college degree. That's going to be a nest egg / capital base. That's the key to wealth and power in America, is having a capital base. People that have jobs and education don't have a lot of power, but people who have wealth, who have capital, can win. They can win. Dr. Claude Anderson and I were talking about this just yesterday, and I really think he wrote Powernomics, which is a very important book. Every child should read it, and I just really hope that we as a community will kind of start to rethink these things instead of just going along with whatever massa tells you to do. Now, one thing I want to mention really quickly is that if you want to, if you're trying to reach your goals for 2025, stuff like that, I do have a life class at Black Keys to Greatness. I've made it 100% free. So the URL is on the screen. You can write it down, blackkeystogreatness.com. I literally break down how to set goals, how to accomplish your goals, how to stick to your goals. These are things that I had to learn to get my PhD. It was really, really hard. I had to have a lot of discipline. And I'm thankful that I went through that tough experience because that's what helped me to be successful, in other parts of my life. That's how I deal with the haters. That's how I get up every day and stay consistent. And I find that good habits and good discipline is something that makes it difficult for us to achieve our goals. So I want you to win. And so I'm not here to just hate on you for gambling. And then here's the other thing too. I think things done in moderation can be okay. Every now and then, if there's a big game, like I love my Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm a Buckeye. That's where I got my doctorate. And I love football. I would be tempted to bet on Ohio State in the big game against Oregon. I'm not going to, most likely. But if I did, it wouldn't necessarily be a violation of anything. It would just be me saying, let me just dabble a little bit. But the thing about it is that the reason you got to be careful about these sports books is that they target young Black men, mostly white boys too, but they specifically are targeting young Black men pretty much between the ages of like 18, 19 up to like 35. And the problem with that is that if you mess your life up while you're young, it's going to be real hard for you when you get older. You mess your life up when you mess up your credit, you go deep in debt, you never know. So your bookie might come kill you. You might end up getting into worse situations, so that's what I think is bad. This is why I really have a big issue with what they're promoting in hip hop, because it gives you a direct pathway to destroy your life before your life even really begins. When you're 35, 40, 45 years old, you're living off of the choices that you made in your 20s. When you get to about 40, 45 years old, some choices you can't go back and fix. You got 5 babies, mamas, you can't go back and fix that. You got STDs and now you can't have kids. You can't go back and fix that. You have all these other problems. You have a criminal record. You can't go back and fix that. You didn't get no education. It's very, very hard to go back and fix that. Right. So what I would just say is that the best approach to life is to get off to a good start. And that's really what I'm encouraging you to do. And this is why I have an issue with these sports books. They got us out here looking like Pookie the crackhead. And a lot of people are going to ruin their lives from this. Not enough people are going to listen to people like me. A lot of people are just going to go ahead and do it. I'm really talking to the people that kind of just are willing to listen. Okay. Now, here's some other things that they did to sell those menthol cigarettes. They killed millions of black people with these cigarettes. It was another genocide. It was not much different from like where the pandemic happened, where suddenly isn't it funny how in the pandemic they suddenly became so sensitive to the black people's plight? Like they were really like, oh, we care about you. That's why we want you to get this shot, because we just care about you. We just really want to make sure black people are healthy because we love black people. And it's so hilarious because at the same time, you got black folks getting shot up in Chicago. They don't care about that. You have black people eating all the worst foods on earth, and you're selling those foods to those people. They're all sitting in the hospital on dialysis, right? Colostomy bags, dying from cancer. You didn't care about that. It is so hilarious where they pick and choose when they claim to care about us. And they happen to claim to care about us when it comes down to the money. So in this particular case, because there's money being made off of the destruction of you and your financial situation, they'll probably put like a little footnote, like if you have a gambling problem, call this number, blah, blah, blah. But really, I think generally I would encourage you to be really careful, stay away from that. So here are a few other things that they did when they were selling those cigarettes and killing black people with the cigarettes. One of the things is they appealed to health misconceptions. Menthol cigarettes were marketed as smoother and less harsh, misleadingly suggesting that they were a healthier or more comfortable smoking option. So they do that a lot. They'll take something that is really unhealthy and make you think that it's not so bad or it's not as bad as the alternative. So you really feel like you're doing something healthy, even though you're poisoning yourself. I saw somebody, and this really surprised me. They actually did this with beer and wine. There was a lady who said, anybody who's telling you that a glass of wine every day is good for your heart, she said, that's not true. She said, no, it's killing you. Anybody who says drinking beer helps you because it has barley in it and all these other healthy things, no, they're killing you. They're poisoning you. And it's really important to understand that. She said, enjoy your wine, enjoy your beer, but just know that it's poison. Like it's not like health food or something. And then the other thing is they distributed the menthol cigarettes heavily, disproportionately in black neighborhoods, and they priced them lower in black neighborhoods to ensure accessibility and encourage brand loyalty. That was their contribution to the black community. Now, here are the way sports books get your money. So if you have somebody in your family that's messing around with this stuff, I want you to look out for these little cues in terms of how they get you to use those platforms more and to get more money out of you. Number one, they use a lot of welcome bonuses. So they often entice sign-up bonuses like risk-free bets or deposit matches to encourage new users to start. That's what the dope dealer does, right? Most dope dealers will give you the first sample for free, right? Why? Because they know that once you get it, you're going to love it and you're going to keep coming back. Frequent promotions. They send regular notifications about special promotions, boosted odds, or free bets to create a sense of urgency and keep users engaged. Micro betting options. By allowing bets on small, quick events, for example, like the next play or the next quarter, sports books keep users constantly engaged and increase the frequency of bets. So this is a very dangerous form of betting called prop betting, where you just bet on anything. You're betting on whether or not the cheerleader is going to wear a black skirt or not, whether or not the coin toss is going to be heads or tails. And that's pretty terrible. In-app features and gamification, features like leaderboards, rewards programs, and streak challenges create a game-like experience that encourages users to bet more frequently to earn rewards and maintain streaks. And then psychological tricks. They use tactics like personalized recommendations, highlighting quote unquote popular bets, or showing what others are betting on to create social pressure and the illusion of smart betting. So this becomes kind of like this overlap between what social media does to get you addicted and what the sports books do to get you addicted. It all comes back to what they call Pavlovian research. There was an Italian researcher, I think his last name was Pavlov, and he had a dog, and he learned about dopamine by basically connecting this bell to food. So the dog would hear the bell and he would start salivating because he knew that the bell meant he was going to get food. So basically, they understand these reward systems and they know how to randomize it in a certain way so that when you participate so many times, you're going to become addicted. So you can become addicted to a lot of things. Anything connected to dopamine can lead to an addiction, from what I've learned. I'm not an expert, but even things like sex, like one thing no one talks about at all is that sex addiction is rampant in the Black community. It's rampant really everywhere, but in the Black community, it's pretty rampant. If you watch some of the biggest platforms in the community, all they talk about is sex, 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 sex. It's always like somebody twerking or somebody sleeping with somebody or whatever. And that is really, to me, the result of an addiction, and people who are heavily traumatized are more susceptible and vulnerable to addictions because you're in a lot of pain. And when you're in pain, the dopamine makes you feel good. So why would you not want to feel good when you're in pain, when your life is painful, your life is hard, you're stressed out, you got this undiagnosed, untreated trauma from childhood. So you go for your pleasure seeking. People get into pleasure seeking behavior. And unfortunately, that can undermine your ability to be a productive human being. So you ever see somebody who sits around and all they do is smoke and drink and have sex and play video games all day, and then nothing gets done, like there's nothing productive coming out of them? Well, that's an example of that. That's the example. So anyway, not to make anybody feel bad, but I'm just telling you, I really hope that Joe Budden and Club Shay Shay and all these brothers that are out here promoting this poison to the Black community, I hope that they'll stop doing it. But of course, they won't listen to people like me. I mean, I'm just a guy with a PhD in finance. What do I know? All right. So anyway, have a good day, everybody. I'm going to get out of here. If you want to join, by the way, my website's boycewatkins.com. And we do free financial training every morning. We have a millionaire training camp that you can join if you'd like to participate tomorrow morning. We do this every single day, 7 days a week. We've done 300 of these lectures this year, and because we're serious about it. So if you want to text the word morning to the phone number 87948, text morning to 87948. And also my specialty is the stock market. That's what I wrote my dissertation on. So we do stock market Tuesday. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, I'm going to do a private Zoom and talk about the market, stocks that I like the most, market conditions that I'm seeing, and some good places to kind of put money as you prepare for 2025, making 2025 your biggest money year ever. I want you to win. I want you to succeed. So if you'd like to do a free trial on our Stock Market Investors Club, just go to drboycestockmarket.com, drboycestockmarket.com. So God bless you guys. Have a good day. I'll see you soon. Take care now. Peace.